What's up XRP holders? In today's quick video I want to show you something super interesting that is right now happening on the monthly time frame for XRP. I also want to talk about the short-term price action, of course, the price targets that I am currently expecting, this important fractal that is right now most likely playing out here for XRP, and much more important stuff in today's quick video. So let's get straight into it. And first off guys, on the right hand side of the chart we have XRP on the monthly time frame, and on the left hand side of the chart we have XRP's market dominance, and I'm going to touch upon the market dominance a little bit later on in the video, so stay tuned for that. But first off, let me touch upon the monthly time frame, and this is actually XRP's RSI on the monthly time frame, and this trend line that you can see over here has been in play since 2017. You can see that each and every time when XRP's RSI touches this trend line on the monthly time frame, we see a huge rejection on the RSI. It also happened lately here in January of 2025. We touched this trend line for the third time and we saw a massive rejection. So yeah guys, this is definitely a trend line to take very seriously, because each and every time when we touch it we also see a massive price reaction. The first time, as I said, was here in May 2017, and after we touched this trend line on the RSI, the XRP price went down by approximately 67% to the downside, which is absolutely significant, and that also shows you the significance of this RSI trend line. The second time was actually here in December of 2017. We touched this trend line and that was actually very close to XRP's bull run high from that exact bull run, and since then we have seen a massive drawdown in the XRP price action of above 95%, which is absolutely massive, and that shows you that we should take this trend line on the RSI very seriously. The last time that we had a touch point was actually here, as I said, in January 2025. XRP's RSI once again touched the trend line on the monthly time frame, and we have seen a huge pullback and a very painful and frustrating period, a pullback of 52% to the downside over a time span of a few months. And as you can see right now, we still have some room left here to the upside on the monthly time frame for XRP. So I still expect that the bull run is in full force and is going to continue here in the next few weeks, possibly in the next few months or so for XRP. But once we touch this trend line once again, we should be a little bit more careful, and we should definitely expect at least, I would say, a temporary multi-month correction for crypto and for XRP specifically. So as soon as we touch this trend line, I will notify all of you and I will tell you exactly what my strategy is going to be then. And if we look at some other metrics, for example here on the Google Trends indicator with search term XRP and Ethereum, if we focus on worldwide in the past 12 months, then we can currently see that we're not at a peak point in the market. There's currently not a lot of retail interest in the market. As you can see, this blue line, which is XRP, sits at 43 and Ethereum sits at 39, despite the recent massive price rally that we have seen for Ethereum. And this shows you that retail is currently still sleeping on the massive moves that we're seeing in the market. We are even still below the July highs from this year, so this also shows me that there is still massive room here for growth. We're far below the January highs of 2025 and massively below the December highs of last year 2024. So this is also an important metric to look at. For example, we can also look at the altcoin season index over here, and we can see that we're currently hitting 41 on the index, which means that there is still massive growth there possible for altcoins in the rest of the year. And whenever this meter hits above 75, we should consider to lock in profits into stable coins. At least that is what I'm going to do, because each and every time when we go above 75 on the index, we see a multi-month correction for altcoins according to history. So yeah, currently we're still good to go. There's still massive room for upside, but just be aware of this important metric. And also from a technical point of view, if we look at this chart, for example, this is XRP's monthly time frame as well. You can see this white trend line, which is actually the average price of XRP. We're currently slightly above the average price, but that is totally normal normal in a bull run. We have seen that in 2017 and 2018, also in 2020, but typically sooner rather than later price tend to come back to this wide trend line, and as you can see right now we are trading very close to XRP's average price, which means that there is still massive room for growth here to become a little bit more overvalued, I would say. But right now we are not overvalued, not undervalued. We are, I would say, trading around the average price for XRP. So very interesting chart to look at. Also here from another perspective on the weekly time frame, we still have this bull flag breakout currently going on for XRP. We had this downward sloping trend line which has been in play since January, and we broke above it. We're currently holding this as support. So according to this fractal, we could expect massive continuation to the upside here for XRP in the next few weeks or so. And by the way, if you want to take advantage of this current opportunity in the market, if you want to buy or trade your altcoins, then I can highly recommend BTCC. It's the first link down below in the video description. They're currently offering a 10% deposit bonus for my audience exclusively, which is basically free money that you can use to trade with. Also keep in mind that BTCC has been around for more than 13 years, and that of course tells a lot about this exchange. So if you're interested in that, check it out. It's the first link down below. Alternatively, you can also trade on Ascendex. They're also offering massive deposit bonuses, no KYC required. It's a second link down below in the video description. Check it out if you're interested. Going further here with the analysis here on the daily time frame for XRP, we can see that a bullish MACD cross is looming, is imminent for XRP, and the last time this happened was in the month of June, and we have seen a massive price explosion after that bullish crossover in the MACD, 92% in a very short amount of time. And as I said, right now we're getting close to another bullish crossover. So can we expect another 90+% rally for XRP? Well, that remains to be seen, of course. I also found this very interesting fractal. If we go back to the bull run from 2020 until 2021, you can see that the price action looks very similar to the current price action here in 2025. We had this double bottom here in 2020, also here in 2025. Double bottom recently for XRP. Since then we have seen some upside here. The same thing in 2020. After that initial move to the upside, we saw a little pullback, but that was only before massive further continuation to the upside. So if something similar was to play out for XRP, then we can expect maybe something like this here in the next few months or so. Definitely a very interesting pattern. And also here on the 2-week time frame, we still have this upward sloping trend line, multi-year resistance, which has been in play since 2021 with multiple touch points. As soon as we break this trend line to the upside with at least a weekly candle, guys, then I think that XRP could explode massively to the upside. So yeah, pay attention to all of these signs. The crypto market is doing very well. $310 billion added to the crypto market in the last 7 days alone. So yeah, smart money is currently buying crypto like never before, but pay attention. And the last chart that I wanted to show you is actually XRP's market dominance, and this means how much of the entire cryptocurrency market cap is currently in the hands of XRP, which is currently 4.85%. As you can see, it's an important chart to look at because here we also have the RSI trend line, which has been in place since 2017, and each and every time when the XRP market dominance touches this trend line, we have seen a massive pullback, and we're currently not far off from this trend line. I still believe that there is some upside possible here in the short term, let's say in the next weeks or so, maybe months, but eventually when we touch this trend line, we should reevaluate the situation and maybe lock in some profits on the way up. Of course, not financial advice, just my own strategy. The market dominance for XRP got rejected recently around 5.7%, as you can see here in the past few months, multiple rejection points, but as soon as we break this level to the upside here, then the next level for the market dominance, the next price target is the golden ratio around 8 to 9% for XRP, which is a move to the upside of above 75% in terms of the market dominance, and that is of course very, very nice for XRP. But that was it for today, guys. Don't forget to follow me over on Instagram. I'm posting additional XRP and crypto content over there. It's the link down below in the video description. Check it out. I want to thank you all for watching, for the amazing support, and I see you very soon with another XRP update. Bye bye.